Today on Suncoast View, the fish at Westfield Mall have PETA fired up. And should we get food help for our furry friends? We have pet problems to discuss.
February is Black History Month, and today we are celebrating African-American art right here on the Suncoast.
The king of rock and roll lived a very private life, but today we hear what the king was really like from his private nurse. All that and more right now on Suncoast View.
Welcome to the show, and welcome back to Society photographer Cliff Rolls.
Happy almost February.
We are almost there. Glad to see you sitting down for a few moments anyway.
Lying would probably be the better term.
But you make such great pictures. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're so welcome, Linda. It was great to see you at the Circus Gala.
I look much better in your pictures than I do in the mirror.
I'm not going there.
How many times, Cliff, do people ask you, could you make me taller, or could you smooth out my...
Thinner is the most popular one. And you make me hundreds in the course of a week.
It's a lot of pressure to put on a man, but we appreciate all you do for the area, and it's been a lot of fun to see all the great events. We look forward to hearing about February.
Busy, and it's going to get even busier, so
it's a good place
buckle
to be.
up.
Exactly.
Yes, you're still smiling, though, so that's good.
Yes.
We have a new friend in the kitchen today. We want to welcome Chef Dave from Goodfellas Cafe and Winery, known for your pizza, but I understand we're doing something a little different today. What are we making?
Absolutely. I'm making mussels alla marinara, one of our most famous appetizer dishes.
Wonderful. And do you have a complete Italian menu in addition to pizza? Tell us a little
Absolutely.
bit.
We make everything in-house, from pastas, meatballs, sausage, breads, doughs, desserts. I brought a few cakes that we bake as well.
Whoa.
Also make all of our own wines in-house, too.
Okay, we're going to learn more about all of this coming up throughout the show, so we are glad you are with us today.
The lightest pizza. The crust like floats from Clark Road over to my home.
On
a regular basis.
Oh, I want it to float over to my home, too.
All right, well, we look forward to having Goodfellas here with us today. Also something to celebrate from Ringling. Really a great momentous occasion was announced yesterday. Local philanthropists, Drs. Joel and Gail Morganroth, gave a $15 million donation. That is the single largest that Ringling has ever received. And it's so great for the college. They're actually looking to focus a lot of the funds on their budding virtual reality department. So they've already got the program there, but now they're going to create a department head for virtual reality at Ringling College. And it was really interesting to hear the doctors speak, because they were talking about how they feel that the future for their grandchildren and their children is all within virtual reality, and Morgan Ross want Ringling to be at the forefront of that.
Oh, that's great for all of us. It helps our whole community. It puts us on the map again as a cultural center.
Think how far ahead that they have to plan as an educational institution, that not only do they have to set up the department, because the students haven't even come through yet, who will then graduate and then work in the field and make a difference. It's exciting.
And technology is changing so fast. So they have to know the future.
The team around Larry Thompson is one of the big reasons that people go to the Ringling College of Art and Design. He is a motivational force in that building and in that organization. And I think that they wouldn't be as famous or as lucrative well off today if he wasn't there. Right? I credit Larry with a lot of getting what they need, and he wants to be #1 in the world, not just in the States. He wants to be #1 in the world. He won't rest until he is.
Absolutely, and doing a great job already with a very highly acclaimed and ranked film school. So lots of good things happening at Ringling College. It is time for our first hot topic, and things are not going so swimmingly for one display at Westfield Mall in Sarasota. PETA requested that the mall remove a vending machine fish tank, and the mall has complied. Now, the mall has a Feed-A-Fish, Make-A-Wish machine. It doesn't actually dispense the fish. Visitors pay to disperse food into a fish tank. PETA says there's been no way to determine how much the fish are being fed, and over or under feeding can be fatal to fish.
Well, I wonder if they had any dead fish. That would certainly tell the tale.
Would have been a clue.
Because my first thought was fish in the wild have all the food available and they don't overeat and die. Only humans do that.
Yes, very, very true.
But I don't know about the fish tank.
Well, and we've always been told that a goldfish will eat until it blows up. They tell you that when you bring them home, because I've raised many a fish that didn't really do real well at my house.
Raised and passed.
Raised and passed, yes.
Unfortunately.
So, you know, I don't know. I'll be honest, my first thought was, is this really something we need to worry about? On the other hand, it's an easy easy fix, and if it's offending somebody, fine. You know.
It seems like a clever campaign. I know, especially as a lot of different nonprofits or organizations are trying to come up with campaigns that are unique and it's challenging. So the whole Feed a Fish, Make a Wish is nice. I guess maybe it just wasn't
So
thought
maybe
out.
you could put the money in and make a wish, and the money would go to a humane society or something.
Right.
So you could still
Ronald
get your
McDonald
wish.
House does
yes,
that.
and
the
watch
throwing
the fish.
watch the money disperse. Or oh, I see. Leave the fish in there.
Leave the fish in there so you can watch the fish, but do something for a fish's friend.
Or maybe there are, now we're helping after the fact, but maybe there's like a reservoir of food that goes in there, and then that's
then
what
it feeds them.
fish
Yeah,
get fed
that's a good idea.
later.
All I can say is that my granddaughters are very, very sad.
Are they? Did they like to do that?
They love to go there and just hit those buttons. They didn't care what came out. They just hit those buttons.
And that was causing fish stress, Cliff. You do know that.
Shaking the fish.
You can't tap on the thing. It doesn't hurt.
Well, speaking of our pets, for all of us, pets are, of course, an extremely important part of our family. Well, there is a growing online petition that is asking the government to treat our pets like family members as well and allow food stamps to be used to buy pet food. Nearly 90,000 have signed the petition on the Care2 website. 40 million Americans rely on supplemental nutrition assistance. They say it leaves them in a difficult position when it comes to feeding the family animals.
No, I think
Thoughts?
food stamps should go for people, and maybe there should be a special fund for people who would like to give, to contribute, to help people who are challenged financially to feed their pets. But I think, first of all, we've got to feed the people.
Yeah, I can hear the critics already that this is not going to be a popular opinion. But as someone who obviously is a pet owner, it is expensive
It is.
when you already
It's very
own a pet.
expensive.
So I'm thinking more of the situation maybe where you have pets and either you've had a hardship or something, and you're having a hard time then to continue feeding them. It is a cost to someone.
Yeah.
That pet is going to continue to be a cost, whether you take it somewhere else, you can't afford to keep your pet anymore, someone else has to feed it, or unfortunately you take it to a shelter where they have to then put down your pet. There's a cost associated with that. So I do feel for people that have pets that can't afford to take care of them anymore, but I can already hear people complaining that I'm going to adopt more cats so I can get more money,
I like the concept, though, of if you have a pet and it is a part of your family. It's already bad you're having a financial issue. You would hate to then have to part with a family member. So I know there are organizations that collect pet food and take donations. I think the problem we're running into in this country is there's so many pets waiting to be adopted in rescues, in shelters. That's where all those resources are going.
Right.
As well they should. It's like we almost can't get enough of a backlog of pet
Right.
food to help everybody, but it would be nice if there was a way for those people to get food without it being the government money that we need to
Right,
feed our
right.
families, but yet still not having to impact their family with more trauma and lose a family member. I mean, it's definitely iffy.
And I know we have organizations here on the Suncoast that will go out and will spay, random
yeah,
Sure,
cats,
absolutely.
cats in the neighborhood, so as to not create more pets that
But
without
you know
homes.
what? I bet if you put it on Facebook, I don't have money to feed my pet, I bet you would get money.
A lot of
At
places
least pet
would.
food.
Yeah.
Pet food, at least.
Right.
Lulu got her own page on Facebook.
Lulu is not, my dog is not starving. She is not wanting for anything. In fact, I'm trying to encourage her to volunteer her free time.
Well, and maybe they could get a little crafty, because I've been told a nice diet of rice and ground meat certainly would help a pet a little bit too, but obviously we have to feed the people first. So a California lawmaker may be grasping at straws. He is proposing that restaurants should get fined if they hand out too many of them, meaning straws. A California Democrat proposed a bill making it illegal for restaurants to give out a plastic straw unless requested by the customer. The reason? All the plastic that ends up in the landfills. California estimates that straws and coffee stirs are the 6th most common item found in all the cleanups over the past 25 years. Now, fast food and grocery stores would be exempt, but giving out a straw in a restaurant without a request would elicit a fine, maybe even misdemeanor or jail time. The lawmaker says it's time to think about how convenience costs are killing the earth.
Can't you see the jail full of people who gave out straws?
Certainly don't think we
I
need
gave out a
jail
straw.
time.
What are you in for? Yeah.
I killed somebody I gave out a straw.
I mean, I guess I understand the concept. I think most of us are probably going to continue to just ask for a straw.
Yeah.
I don't really care one way or the other, so I don't mind if you don't give me one and
Yeah.
make me ask for it. That's fine.
Yeah. Well, can't you make them out of something else? Maybe they should make them out of some other
Well, Well, and
There are
the old
paper
milkshake straws used to be paper. I mean, lots of...
Biodegradable. We
Right.
can do that.
It is easier if it's in another location, I know, where you can grab a straw if you need it, and sometimes I won't think
Yes.
to grab one. We had a friend of our family that used to go out to dinner with us when he was visiting, and he was very, very green, and this is even years ago, before it was as, aware as it
Popular,
was, and he would refuse straws for all of us when he ordered. And same thing if you're in the grocery store, he'd say, oh, you don't need a bag for that. And I understand, but sometimes I'm like, okay, well, I might
Right.
actually in this case.
I actually would like a bag, but
promise.
right, no. So, well, it's just something else to think about. I mean, you can go through a lot of straws.
They add up.
You know,
They do
they
add up.
add up.
Make them
So.
out
use
of
them
white
if you don't
chocolate.
have to.
That's
Yes. Bring your own straw.
Or what about the coffee places that give you the little pastry straws with those pirouettes or pirolets?
See,
or
now
those-
that's how we solve
Yeah,
the problem.
right. So a photo faux pas by Jessica Simpson has her in some legal trouble. She is getting sued for posting a picture of herself on social media. Now the problem is someone else took the picture and holds the copyright to it. A photo agency had granted exclusive rights to a paparazzi to use photos taken of Jessica exiting a hotel. Simpson saw the pic, she liked it, so she shared it on her own social media accounts. Then the lawyers called. So
Yeah.
Cliff, I had to ask, is this
Absolutely.
a big problem? Do people not understand the law?
I am. Steam's coming out of my head the times I have to remind people to use my name as photo credit or give me photo credit, or even the fact that they would ask beforehand is, that would be nice too now and again.
Right.
But too many people think that they're, oh, it's up there, then I can use it without any problems at all. No, it's my copyright. I own that photo. No one else owns that photo. I have all rights to it. They can use it. They have usufructuary rights to that photo. That's all.
Which means...
But isn't Jessica Simpson's job posing for pictures? That's what she gets paid for.
Yes.
And if you made her do something that she gets paid for, you should pay her.
Well, I'm sure that she didn't go do it for free. But,
Well, and it was a paparazzi snap. It was someone that the paparazzi hired to get her. But she liked it.
I like the fact that she jumped in and is kind of taking power away from paparazzi. I mean, Cliff is a paid photographer. He's engaged with the organizations that
Right.
are taking photos.
Right.
So that's a different story. Obviously, the argument here must be that's my face, so that's mine. But the argument before that would be you agreed to go to this event in the
Yes.
public. You agreed to go to this gala,
Right.
this function. You are basically allowing yourself to be photographed.
absolutely. Public figure, public domain.
Well, I have a lot. My friend is a modeling agent in Los Angeles, and she has this argument all the time. When a woman's or a man's job is posing for pictures, you got to pay her to pose. You got to pay her to pay take the picture.
All right. Well, interesting. I mean, of all people, you wouldn't expect a Hollywood person to end up in this mess because
Yeah.
usually they know better.
No,
But
normally the agencies and the managements are behind everything and sort everything out before the artist even goes before the camera.
and that's why you have a website, and that's why you offer the pictures available
Yes.
for purchase, and that's the way it should be. So do you dream of driving a fast car, yet know it is way out of the budget to buy one? Well, in the Atlanta area, there is now a Porsche Passport subscription service. For $2,000 a month, you have access to any number of their sports cars and SUVs. You can drive a different one every day. It's like leasing without the long-term commitment. This has been so popular that other brands are starting similar programs. Anybody love cars enough to need to trade one in all the time?
I wouldn't even remember what color mine was when I went to the parking lot.
I have a rental right now while mine is being worked on, and I could not find it yesterday for that very reason.
I love it.
Like, what am I driving anyway? I got stuck on the $2,000 a month. I mean, if you're
Yeah.
going to have $2,000 a month, I'd just be leasing something phenomenal.
Yes.
Because that's a lot of money for a car.
Yeah.
I would save it up and buy a car for
It's
that.
a nice rental idea. I know that there's the next generation is a lot more about having but not owning, but $2,000 a month you should own.
That's a lot. But interestingly enough, they can't keep them in, and more brands are turning to that.
Wow.
So I know, go millennials.
Maybe they should give some people some dog food.
Yes, yes.
Make them more charitable. We're going to check in with our happy hour forecast. When we come back, we cannot wait to sit down with someone who knows Elvis Presley very well.
Good afternoon, I'm Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan with your happy hour forecast and your first alert weather showing lots of sunshine this afternoon. Some high cirrus clouds racing in overhead, but generally sunny throughout the afternoon. Temperatures did not warm up that much as a result of a north wind that's been persistent all day long, anywhere from 10 to 15 miles an hour. Currently, the temperature is at 64 degrees and the dew point is at 32. Humidity at 30% and the winds are out of the north at 10. The pressure at 30.10. Or 30.18, and that is on the rise. Winds are out of the north, and they stay out of the north right now. As I said, anywhere from 10 to 15 miles an hour from Manatee County southward down into South Sarasota and then Charlotte County, all pretty much the same there, the north wind. The lows tonight will be the coldest that we've seen this week, down into the low to mid 40s for the most part. So we'll start off on a chilly note on Wednesday, but we will warm into the low 70s here along the west coast. Should be a really nice day tomorrow. Lots of sunshine around. We'll let you know that'll continue coming up at 5. See you then.
More than 40 years have passed since Elvis Presley died, but that time has not decreased the interest in all things related to the king. Few people really knew Elvis personally, but Letitia Henley Kirk did. She was Elvis's private nurse for more than 9 years, and she's written a book called Taking Care of Elvis. Welcome, Letitia.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
How did this all begin? How'd you get that job?
Oh, well, I was a nurse for internal medicine and cardiology group in Memphis, Tennessee, and Elvis had done the 68 thing, and he had bought a ranch in Mississippi and bought some horses. He'd ridden the horses all day long, and he called his friend who was a DJ at one of the local channels, WHBQ in Memphis, and they had gone to school together, and he said, George, I've ridden horses all day long and I've got a sore butt. I need to see a doctor. So George worked with one of my friends who was a receptionist there. So she took a poll, and Dr. DeCoplis was one of the doctors, and he said, well, I'll be happy to go see him, but I'll have to go after hours. So he did. And then within 2 or 3 weeks later, Elvis had another medical issue. And Dr. Nick says, well, you know, I did you a favor. You're going to have to become an established patient because I'm in a group here. So Elvis comes in, and of course, you know, we had to do it after hours and close the clinic. And I was in the room doing my assessment, and he was sitting in a chair in the corner, and he had his head down looking at his knees, and he was talking to me, and a little ad lib, Elvis always introduced me. He called me Tishina. He said, what you see is what you get. So I looked over at Elvis, and I took him by his chin, and I pulled his chin up. I said, Elvis, if you talk to me, you look at me. So we go on, and as I'm going to take everything out of to the lab, I got a page to go to Dr. Nicopolis's office, and I thought, oh gosh, I'm fired. So I go to his office, and I knocked on the door, and he says, come in. And that didn't sound too inviting. And I said, yes, sir, you paged me. And he said, what did you say to Elvis? So I told him. He said, he likes you. Let me. The heart got in a regular visit. And so we had a contact because I grew up poor up in the country. He grew up poor in Tupelo, so we could relate on things that we'd done growing up. And then he found out that I had 2 daughters, and of course he had Lisa. So he would have me bring the girls down there to play with Lisa when she would be in town.
Oh, wow.
So this goes on from 68 to 72, and during periods of times he would, you know, let me put you in a double wide trailer in the backyard. That way, you know, you won't have to get off from work and drive and get Lisa and come let her play with the kids, and you can just be right here. We had just built a home, our first home, and I said, you know, no, Elvis, not moving into a trailer, no. So we did this little argument for several years periodically. So my husband was doing construction work, so the economy bombed, and times were getting really tough. So he found out that my husband had prior been a policeman. So he talks to Dr. Nick behind my back, and he talks to my husband, and he hires my husband. So I get home from work, and my husband is sitting at the bar, and he says, babe, I got some good news. I got a job. And I said, oh, wonderful, because we're living on my salary. And nurses got paid a pittance then. And he said, well, you better sit down. Let's talk about this. And I thought, oh, what is this? He's going to be traveling, okay? He says, no, Elvis has hired me, but we have to live on the grounds of Graceland. I can't repeat what I said and what I called Elvis that day. But anyway, it was the best move we ever made because, you know, not only was Elvis my patient, Elvis was my very best friend. And I took all 4 weeks of my vacation to travel with him. My family had our first vacation in 1978. And it was hard work. I don't know how he did it as many years as he did. But
did he change when he got famous?
No, Elvis was Elvis. He had to change because he had to become so isolated because of his popularity. But as a person, and something else about Elvis, Elvis was probably, I nursed for, 50 years. And he was probably one of the most educated men I was ever around because he was so very well read. And there's not enough adjectives to describe the man.
Oh.
Kind, caring, humorous, generous, spontaneous. I mean, you name him and I can put a story with it probably.
He gave you a ring?
He did. This is kind of cute. I don't know if you know about doodling or not, but
I do.
I go up to his bedroom one day, and here sits Elvis Presley doodling, and I said, and he's ignoring me, and I said, "What are you doing?" And he says, "Do you like diamonds? Do you like rubies? Do you like emeralds? Do you like?" And I thought, where's he going with this? So then it was over. He quit doodling, and we stopped the conversation. It goes on. So a couple of weeks after that, he calls me down there, and he says, "Tashina, you need to get down here right now." And I thought, oh, what is it now? So I get down there, and when I get to the front, I see the jeweler's car down there. So I thought he was probably going to show me something he'd picked out for somebody, which he had. So he had me this ring made, and I have it on today.
Oh.
And he was, of course, it blew me away.
How special.
So it has
Wow.
emerald cut diamonds, and it has round diamonds. And he told Lowell, he said, "Now, I'm going to tell you, I don't want another ring made off of this mold. This is it."
Yeah. Oh,
So it's kind of an interesting story. Several years after that, Felton Jarvis was his RCA producer. And we were out with him one night, and he saw my ring, and he had a fit over it. He says, "Oh, I've got to have one of those for Mary." And I said, "Well, Felton, this is what he said. There will not be another one made."
Well, you've got to meet this lady because she has got wonderful stories.
amazing.
And you can. She's written this great book, and she is going to be signing copies. There's a book signing at Island Branch Library on Anna Maria on February 1st. It's an awesome book. Wonderful stories, Letitia. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll be right back, and here's some classical choral music.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard serve to give back to their country and communities. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for an array of benefits, such as affordable health and life insurance benefits, education benefits, including tuition assistance, student loan repayment and GI Bill programs, a retirement plan based on part-time service, and VA home mortgages. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about all the benefits available in the Army National Guard.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
For more than 100 years, American Humane Association has been teaching kids to be kind to animals. Those in our homes, on the farms, on the silver screen, and wildlife conservation, caring for the world's vanishing creatures. But we can't do it alone. Visit kindness100.org to find ways to teach kids how they can make a more caring, compassionate, and humane world for all of us.
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here.
Why, you don't like my hair?
The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds.
No.
Delicious recipes.
Today, I'm going to show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch The Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
The classic masterpiece, Carmina Burana, tells the history of love and fortune, and it's often called a morality play. More than 60 voices will combine with contemporary dancers to present this masterpiece, and today one of the soloists is here with a medley from Carmina Burana in Sounds of the Suncoast. Take it away.
Sola subtilis nova mundo reserat facies aprilis amorem properat animus erilis et iocundis imperat Deus puerilis. Estuans interius ira vehementi in amaritudine loca vehementi factus emeteria cinis elementi similis sum folio dequam ludum venti cuminum proprium viro sapienti supra patrum ponere sedem fundamenti stultus ego compara fluvio labenti sube nonum tramite nunquam permanenti. Sumabas Cocaniensis. Dies nox et omnia, miquis sunt contraria, virginum colloquia. Suspirir Plime fai temer Circa mea pectora Volta son suspiria Dei tua pulcritudine Que me ledun sincera
That you've got to see. You can see Carmina Burana in motion on Saturday, February 3rd. Go to the Choral Artists website for ticket information. Next, get your calendars ready. Cliff has some don't miss February social events.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Choral Artists of Sarasota presents Carmina Burana in Motion. Carl Orff's choral masterpiece, Carmina Burana, bursts into life in this lavish production designed for 60 voices, 3 celebrated soloists, a 2-piano percussion ensemble, and dynamic premiere choreography performed by members of Sarasota Contemporary Dance. Do not miss this lush feast of the senses. Saturday, February 3rd, 4 p.m. at Church of the Palms in Sarasota. Tickets and info are at choralartistsarasota.org or by calling 941-387-4900.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
I'll be right back.
youngest, Addie, was 2.5. She was diagnosed with leukemia. When we first heard that diagnosis, you feel extremely alone. Walking in that Light the Night light with 6,000 people carrying lights, white for survivors, red for supporters, gold in memory of those who have passed. It's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's hope that every year there are fewer gold lanterns. Your lantern will make a difference.
Start a team, join a team.
Help us light the night.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Welcome back to Suncoast View. We're going to check back in with Chef Dave from Goodfellas Cafe and Winery. And I got to ask about the winery part of this equation. You do make your own wine? Tell me about that.
Oh yeah, we make everything in-house. We get California grapes, Alexander Valley, Napa Valley, Madeira Valley. You start with the best, you end with the best. We ferment everything in process, or on premises. We oak it. We do all the racking and clearing. We also do private batches for people. You get your own custom labels. We can go teach you how to do the whole process. It's a lot of fun, and it's all naturally sulfited, so it's organic. It's good for you. You're not drinking a bunch of poison.
Wonderful. Well, that's quite a skill set from going from pizza to Italian food to homemade wine. We can't wait.
Jack of all trades.
All right, we'll join you. We're looking forward to it in a few minutes. So we are heading into the high point of the Suncoast social season, and there is an event for everyone. And of course, photographer Cliff Rolls can be seen at practically all of them. And he is with us today so we can take a look ahead to February.
Thank you. Yeah, the more I come on this program, the more I realize that during the season, the busier the season, the shaggier I become.
That's okay.
I need a haircut and a beard trim if anybody's out there.
There's no time. There's no time.
I know. I brought some photos from last season with me. And we are going into the big time now. We're going into February, March, April. These are the times where I'm really walking on my gums, and it's really, really heavy. The last couple of weeks have been exactly like that. February's going to be mad. Let's start with February.
Okay, and let's start with, I believe, the Boys and Girls
That's
Club.
it. This is fabulous. Saturday night up at Lee Wetherington on Fruitville Road. They're going to be choosing the Youth of the Year. 5 young people are going to be competing for the title. It's Western theme. They've got a lovely pet go-to park where you can hold goats and chickens and whatever, and there's burgers and steaks. The adults get the burgers, the kids get the steaks. That's the whole point of the steak and burger.
I love
It's a fabulous event over on the Lee Wetherington Boys and Girls Club. Everybody should come out and join them, and of course you're roaring on these 5 youths to become the Youth of the Year for the Boys and Girls Club. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing.
Okay.
Really is. One of the most exquisite, prestigious, exclusive balls of the year, the Palm Ball at Bay Preserve, organised by the Conservation Foundation of Sarasota County. Less than 20 seats left now, guys. I mean, we're talking here about a ball that's prepared for 2 years and also booked out for 2 years as well. But I want you to see the beautiful decor.
Yes, what shall we wear, too?
And what you're going to be wearing. Here are the chairs from last year. They're similar ladies this year, but they'll be wearing their long gowns. It's one of those evenings where you get to really go out and enjoy yourself with beautiful paddle rays. That's going to raise a lot of money already, you know that, all for ecology and for the Conservation Foundation. It's a wonderful, great cause as well down there, the Palm Ball. The next one is, this is good, this is the Library Foundation of Sarasota County, Library Association, and last year they had Dave Barry on, the big author, who I couldn't help, I laughed myself silly when he spoke. This year it's James Patterson. Now, James Patterson, well known to absolutely everybody who reads books, of course.
James Patterson.
James Patterson. He's offered to write the donor of the largest gift at the luncheon into his next novel.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my!
Now,
is it a good plot or a bad plot? I'm worried.
It's a James Patterson. It's going to be great.
Sorry.
You know.
What if I'm the bad guy?
Last year, one guy gave 15 grand and got written into another book or something. But anyway,
that's great.
And the Community Foundation, we've got to mention that they're going to match each gift made at the luncheon up to 30 grand. I mean, they are really, really generous. Gulf Coast Community Foundation's having its Better Together on February the 23rd. The Community Foundation is going to be involved in a lot of these events as well. Those two foundations are such stalwarts in Sarasota.
All right,
so
I see Mardi Gras.
Yeah, you're our friend and my friend Veronica Brandon Miller. Goodwill, Minnesota. Michael's on East Invite the Public. For the Mardi Gras Gala on Feb 8th, it's Cajun food, open bar, live auction items, New Orleans-style music and dancing. And this year, Brent Greeno, who we all know from Sight and Sounds, who does everybody's lighting and sounds, and his husband Ryan, and honorary co-chairs Jamie DiDomenico and his wife are going to be making sure that that is a fabulous Mardi Gras Gala.
Okay, the Orchid Ball.
The Orchid Ball. Roger Capote is tearing what hair he has left out of his head. He is now preparing one of the biggest balls in town. Supporting Selby Gardens education programs and international research. We're going into the Warhol theme now. We had Chagall last year, and the Warhol theme is now part of it. Is the mission to create a lifelong appreciation of botanical science, gardens and plants. Jennifer Rominicki at the head of the Selby Gardens doing a fantastic job. Then you've got Liba Gamble, Katie Hollingsworth, Ashley Kozel and Emily Stroud, four of the most competent chairs that we know.
Another great event.
This is great. I want you all guys to go to this as well. ABC7 should have a table here. There's loose wine on the table, guys, and it's ready for drinking. Make-A-Wish, Rebecca Blitz and the team, Michael Klauber, Terry Klauber. There's Renee Finney chairing it again. There's Sal and Susan and Michelle. It's one of those things at Michael's on East where they get in at about 10:30 and by 1 o'clock they're completely enjoying themselves.
Makes for a good
so
afternoon.
we have a wonderful time. Yeah, they normally stick me in one of those big groups of ladies and then, you know, take photos as well.
All right, St. Jude's philosophy.
Foodlosophy, St. Jude's Children's Research. What can I tell you about that? You see the adverts with Marlo Thomas all the time on television. It's a wonderful, wonderful organization. There's going to be cooks galore all over the place, chefs with their stands, offering you fantastic food throughout the evening, being interviewed by people like Lulu and Les McCurdy.
Yes.
It's one of those great gigs down at Michael's on East that you should get involved with. Followed now
And of course,
by Unconditional Love, which is Animal Rescue Coalition, whose motto, of course, is spay and or neuter. Spay and neuter? Spay and neuter. So get down there, support ARC, and help them with everything they do for our four-legged friends.
Yes. Okay, and photos of the month.
Oh, yes. I decided this year to put in, go on, do it. There we go. Last night.
Oh, yes.
I made the decision overnight. I put in one of Woody Harrelson.
And tell us why he was here.
He was here yesterday to promote his new film, Lost in London. He was one of the first visitors to the new Ringling College of Art and Design soundstage building down the road.
And of course,
I couldn't resist it. I'm sorry, guys, but
we
look,
love it.
It's like, isn't it? I thought I'd give my wife a little, you know, study there, and Azzy next month I'll do Emmy. But I just thought that was a nice.
What a good guy.
And that's what being a grandparent is all about. All right.
Right.
And living here on the Suncoast is all about the great events. Don't worry, you can find out more information by going to Cliff's Mug site. And after the event, look for yourself. You know there'll be great pictures there. Coming up next, we're celebrating Black History Month through some Suncoast artists.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
From our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is an ABC7 News Update.
Hello, I'm Scott Dennis. Here's what's coming up at the top of the hour. A deputy involved in the shooting death of a local man has been identified by the sheriff's office, why he remains on light duty. And how a new law would allow college students to exercise free speech wherever they want on state university campuses. Let's get a check on our weather now with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Bob?
Thanks, Scott. A cool day today. Temperature right now 64 degrees. Not too bad really this afternoon. Quite nice. And the dew point way down there, 32 degrees. That means our low tonight will be a rather cold one. North winds now at 10 miles an hour and the pressure 30-18. And that is still high, and it looks like it continues to rise. North winds now anywhere from 5 to 10 miles an hour, basically up and down the coast. 10 at Venice, 10 at Minnesota Beach, 1 degree, 1 mile an hour stronger at Northport now at 11 miles an hour. Temperatures for lows tonight, expected down into the lower 40s, more 5.
Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC 7 shows on your streaming device.
It's been about a month, and I can honestly say I've seen the change in me. I went from being a depressed girl who didn't want help to this happy, caring girl who loves helping other people. I just really hope that people that went through what I went through get the help that they need, because their story is important and they are loved. Thank you so much for everything.
You know, fortunately, this was my first job out of college, so I was able to come back home and work in my hometown. I wore 2 hats. I was sports director and I was a news anchor. I did that for a few years and then decided to go full-time into news. Well, I love our team here at ABC 7. We have a great mix, and it really is a great mix of personalities, of experience that meshes really well into a really strong team. I'm Scott Dennis, and I'm here for you.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
February is Black History Month and a time to recognize the important contributions of the African American culture. Art Center Sarasota is about to open a new exhibit to highlight some of the region's prominent Black artists. And 2 of the artists are here with us today. Welcome Eleanor Merritt and Michelle Redwine. It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for being here. So you are both member artists of an association that is jointly presenting Black Muse with Art Center Sarasota. Tell us about ASALA.
ASALA is an organization that was started many years ago by Dr. Carter Woodson, who was one of the first African Americans to receive a doctorate at Harvard University. It's an organization that's grown in population throughout the United States. Our local chapter has over 275 members.
Remind us what it stands for. I know it's an acronym.
It means the Association for the Study of African American Life and History.
Okay.
So our local chapter promotes the arts. It promotes understanding of the history of African Americans, prominent in contemporary times as well as from past history. We're very proud of the fact that our organization also encourages youngsters, and we give over 30 scholarships every year to young students going on to college. They're not large amounts, but they're enough to help them to pursue their dreams. And last year we gave over $30,000 in scholarships to young people.
That makes such a difference. And so ASALA is presenting Black Muse exhibit with Art Center Sarasota. Now, we have examples of your work. So, Michelle, you are a sculptor, and I know we have some images of a bowl that you've worked. Tell us a little bit about the history of this work.
Well, they are sculpting bowls. They're made of slabs. They're decorative and they're functional.
Oh, beautiful.
The glazes I apply give you a sense of nature. In fact, I always say it reminds me of my early years in painting. But I just love doing it. I love the feel of the clay and just producing.
The three-dimensional aspect is so different from painting. Do you enjoy working with that medium?
I do, and actually I'm a painter, but so this is something I've started to explore about 5 years ago, and I just can't get enough of it.
Well,
it's good.
It's gorgeous. So, Eleanor, I want to talk a little bit about your work. So what is your influence with your work?
Well, I've been painting for over 60 years, and my work is very introspective, such as this piece, which is a DreamWorks. It has nothing to do with reality. A lot of my work is very spiritual. Much of it relates to my African American roots, and sometimes it's symbolic of just the nature in the world that we live in, and also could be related as this piece, which is in the show, fire goddess. I've done a lot of goddesses.
Oh, good.
Yes,
And
Linda perks right up.
This is my latest.
You
And
have a
this-
very, I'm sorry, you
Go
have a
ahead.
very interesting history with National Museum in Washington.
Yes, I was one of the charter members of the National Museum of Women Artists in Washington, D.C., because I was very involved in the feminist movement in the 70s, and I felt that it was a project that needed support of women and women artists to promote their work, and it is continuing to do that in Washington.
That's wonderful. That's
Amazing.
groundbreaking.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit more about the Black Muse exhibit that I know will be open for people to see. What else can they expect at the exhibit?
Well, I think it's quite interesting, and Asala has been collaborating with Art Center Sarasota for over 5 years for this exhibit. The exhibit actually also reflects seniors, in essence, who have decided they wanted to get into the arts. In later life, and they've explored some wonderful areas in the crafts as well as in the fine arts. So the exhibit reflects a combination of that. So you get people who are professionals, been painting and working for years, and you get those who are in their early years or early times of exploring, and it's just a wonderful balance, and that's what makes this quite exciting, that there's a place for the African American artists to come and explore, as well as to exhibit their work.
And it's never too late to become an artist.
That's right.
One of the
Never
beauties
too
of
late.
it. Never
Absolutely.
too late.
We
That's right.
encourage you to come and explore.
Yes.
Black Muse is at Art Center Sarasota through March 9th. For more information, you can go to the Art Sarasota website. Also, for more information about Asala Manasota, you can visit their website, asala-manasotafl.org. Both great organizations. Lots of great things to learn about. Coming up next, we get a political question from one of our viewers.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
Invest in Kids is a $7.5 million project to build a new Boys and Girls Club in South Manatee County. I'm Caleb Grimes, and I was a club kid. It's where I learned important life lessons, leadership, integrity, responsibility, and baseball. Thousands of kids attend the Boys and Girls Clubs, and after years of use, their club is slowly falling apart. Help us invest in kids. Make your donation today.
Thank you. My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
It's me, Artie. Come see what I collected from the Creative Galaxy in my idea box.
Transform your world.
Will you help me make art?
Each one of our journeys keeps us. Before you throw it away,
Hey, I have an idea.
think outside. The Box.
Go be amazing!
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
Well, we love getting email from our viewers, and Jamie wrote in, will any of the political candidates be guests on your show? Great question, Jamie, but actually, ABC 7 News at 7 already has a debate planned that will be happening this evening, Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Republican James Buchanan will be debating with Democratic candidate Margaret Good and Libertarian candidate Allison Foxall for the State House District 72 runoff election. Of course, if you miss it, you can find it online at mysuncoast.com. All right, and if you missed the kitchen, we'll be heading in just a minute with Goodfellas. We're getting excited to make some Italian food.
ABC 7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
From our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is an ABC 7 News Update.
Hello, I'm Jacqueline Matter. Here's what we're working on for 5 o'clock. Tonight, President Donald Trump will give his first official State of the Union address. How some members of Congress are planning to make a statement at the speech. And taking a quick look at our first alert traffic, there is some minor backup on US 41 passing through downtown Sarasota as well as on US 301. Now let's get a check on our first alert weather forecast with Bob.
Thanks, Jacqueline. Right now 64 degrees, sunshine out there, beautiful afternoon after kind of a chilly start. Temperatures will be a little bit colder tonight though. North winds at 10 ushered in some pretty chilly air right now. Winds are out of the north. Basically 5 to 10 miles an hour. Right now 9 at Osprey. We have winds out of the north at 10 at Rotunda and Warm Mineral Springs. Pretty much the same story there. Lows tonight will drop down into the, for the most part, 40s across the entire area. We'll have the details on our forecast coming up at 5. See you then.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC 7 News app.
Once you get atrial fibrillation, you need to have a very close relationship with your primary doctor. Prevention is the whole ball game here, because once you have a stroke, you can't undo it. A year without stroke, it's a year that you can enjoy doing the things that you've worked all your life to finally get to do. You took care of yourself. You did what is necessary for you to be around one more year. And then next year, we'll celebrate one more year without a stroke.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
My name is Luke Perry, and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
Our nation's servicemen and women show great courage and leadership, both on and off the battlefield. When they transition to civilian life, they can apply the skills and values they learned in the military to the workplace. That's why the Coalition to Salute America's Heroes is urging employers everywhere to be smart, bet on a vet. Hiring a veteran is also a great way to show your appreciation for them. To learn more, call 1-888-44-SALUTE.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Coming up Wednesday at 4 on Suncoast View. It's a big day for University Town Center. We'll take you inside the new Whole Foods and show you how it was specially designed just for us. Are you wearing the right shoe when you walk and run? Many people are not. New Balance comes by to show us how to custom fit athletic shoes. Plus a preview from Free Fall Theater, and Cask and Ale joins us in the kitchen.
We are back with Chef Dave from Goodfellas. What have we got, Chef Dave?
Well, today we're going to make a wonderful quick appetizer called mussels a la marinara.
Okay, what do we do first?
First of all, we're going to heat our pan.
Okay.
We've got the olive oil already in there. Now I'm bringing my own olive oil.
Okay.
Next, we're going to saute our garlic. Make this really quick.
So a hot pan.
Whoa, that is really hot.
Woo! Yes, we have a hot stove here.
Right. And, of course, we need the onions.
We're not going to smell good after this, Dave.
No, but
that's
it's going to
okay.
taste delicious.
It's all worth it.
Absolutely.
As long as we all smell the same.
Now that goes fast. If you want to bring the mussels over here,
Okay,
this
so
is going
I
to be
had
very
all sorts of questions when I saw these mussels. Okay to buy frozen mussels.
Absolutely. That's all we use in the
Great to know.
restaurant.
Quality is good?
Quality is wonderful. You don't have to worry about if they don't open, sand being inside of them or anything like that. So
It's very interesting.
Yes, farm raised is always the best way to go, especially due to all the storms and everything we have in the Gulf.
Right.
You know, red tide,
All right.
a couple
That's
oil
good to know,
spills
too.
here and there.
That's a good hint
you
for
know?
at home.
Yeah, and now if you want to dice up some of those onions and tomatoes, because of
Look
course
out,
we're going to
Pat.
add in the tomatoes.
fingers.
Right?
Yeah, right. Linda, usually we use 2 hands. You're making me nervous.
Well, I brought the biggest knife I had.
Oh, good.
Thanks for that.
You said you brought your own olive oil. I know that you have olive oil that for purchase at Goodfellas. Everything, it is like, you know, you go in for pizza, you can come out with everything.
So is it more like a
Absolutely.
market as well, right?
A little bit of a deli as well.
Okay.
Yeah, we infuse all of our own olive oils and balsamics. We also sell everything from pizza dough to the cheese to the pepperoni. So if you want to make a pizza at home, it's a lot of fun. You know, you can just pick up a
Great.
pre-made, all set up. We sell our own sauces because we make all of our own marinara and pizza sauce daily. Yeah, we make all of our own bread, sub rolls.
I love the fact that you can bring it home, because once you get addicted to somebody's things like red sauce or dough consistency, you just want to keep having it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we've got our mussels going in the pan here.
Okay.
How long do they typically take?
To open up, if you do them straight frozen, you're looking at about 10 minutes.
Okay.
If we've had them a little bit on the thawed side, so this
Okay.
is going to take less than probably about 5 minutes total.
We're getting some good shortcuts here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Now that she's got everything diced up, we're going to add in our tomatoes for a little bit of more flavor, give it a little bit of buoyancy. Now, pardon the toss here.
Oh,
I do
we're
suggest
jealous of
using a
that.
spatula at home.
I would need the spatula.
Right?
All right, so just basically give it to a light simmer.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now we're going to add in our marinara. Now this is the marinara I add it, or I make at the restaurant. You can use whatever you like at home. Cooking is by heart, not by what someone else tells you to do. Absolutely. Do what you love. Add the ingredients you love. If you would like to give that a
Give
stir
it a
for 'em,
stir. Okay.
absolutely.
like
We're
the
just going to
sauce.
toss that all around.
Smells brilliant.
It does
Yeah.
smell amazing.
Oh, yeah, you can tell it increasing and increasing.
And you said this is an appetizer at the
This is an
restaurant?
appetizer at the restaurant. We also do it as an entree. We serve it with our fresh pasta.
Yeah, all that sauce that's on the bottom now. I would
Oh,
love
yeah.
that, and dip some crusty bread.
Absolutely.
Hungry today.
You know, Goodfellas was right near my gym, and so it was the worst. On the way home from a workout, I'm like, well, I could just get a pizza on the way home.
But see, once you've worked out, you can. You know,
Sure,
that's the
right.
justification there.
This looks healthy.
It is. And you see how the mussels are already opening up?
All right, we're going to let that steam for another couple minutes. I'm going to give you back the
Absolutely.
spatula. Let's talk through the wines a little bit. Tell us about the different varietals and also how you are doing this yourself.
Well, actually, I learned from a gentleman that made wine in New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
He's been teaching me for about 9 years, off and on. And everything's organic. Everything's naturally sulfited, made in-house. Again, like I was telling everybody earlier, we get all the grapes from California. I don't do any smashing, though.
Okay.
Lucy and Ethel
Your
do that
feet
for
are
me.
fine.
My
Yeah,
feet are
you don't have to
fine.
step on it.
Yep. But now, and we also do private classes as well. And that way, people want to learn how to make wine. They can get their own private batches. You get 30 bottles of wine, your own custom label. It's not
What a
something
great
you can
gift.
do overnight. It
Right.
takes
Takes
3
some
months.
time.
You
So
know.
planning ahead, perhaps. You're going to
Absolutely.
open one, you
Yes,
and red.
I'll pour a little and
Oh yeah, you definitely got to try it. My Pinot Noir, everybody loves.
All
flies
right,
off
we'll
the
do a
shelf.
little sampling while we
There we
wait for the
go.
mussels to finish up. This is all at Goodfellas Cafe and Winery. Great place to pop in at the deli, but also a full service, thank you, Italian restaurant, and of course known for those great thin crust pizzas. Love that wood-fired oven. All right, Dave, great to have you here. Thanks
Yep.
for joining us. We are completely enamored by the scent, that's for sure, and the
Right.
wine.
No, I
Doesn't
hope
smell too
everybody's
bad
Ready
either.
to try?
Cliff, good luck.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for all you do. Can't wait to see the photos. Remember, you need a good night of sleep occasionally.
Can't wait to take them, right?
Exactly. All right, we're going to enjoy a good meal. Thanks for joining us today, and be sure to take some time and enjoy the Suncoast view. Cheers.
Oh.
Salud.